Alright everybody, we are back with dog barking. We are back with reading a book. Um, but yeah, let's choose our electives. This might not be a long part. Whoops, forgot the... I like the magic control that we can get. I feel like that's important. While walking back to my room, I noticed a strange looking door in the hallway that I have never seen before. Do doors usually appear from nowhere in this place? I feel an inexplicable pull towards the door as if it's calling out to me. Open the door. I can't resist the temptation of the mysterious door and decide to investigate. I approach the door cautiously, studying it for any clues. The door is made out of solid wood and has no visible handle or lock. I place my hand on the door and feel a strange tingling sensation. Suddenly the door swings open, revealing a dark passageway that seems to go on forever. I step inside and close the door behind me. The walls are lined with torches that provide dim light. As I walk, I notice strange symbols etched into the walls. I can't decipher what they mean, but they make me uneasy. After what seems like hours of walking, I reach a chamber. In the center of the room, I see a pedestal with a glowing crystal necklace resting on top. I can sense powerful magic emanating from this necklace. It feels familiar somehow. You finally come to me. I whirl around at the sound of the voice, but the chamber is empty. Down here. Is the voice coming from the necklace? I move closer to the pedestal. The crystal necklace lies perfectly still as if it's waiting for someone. I must be hearing things. How can a necklace talk? I put my hand over the necklace and feel the same strange tingle that I felt when I touched the door earlier. My heart skips a beat as the necklace suddenly begins to glow brighter and brighter until I'm blinded by its... Wow, yes, that's it. You have the power to wield me. Go ahead and put me on. Okay, this time I know the voice come from the necklace. What? Who are you? Oh, well, we've plenty of time to get to know each other later. Put me on. Put the necklace on. Now I'm starting to panic. What kind of crazy person puts on a talking necklace? And what do I want to listen? And why do I want to listen to anything Why do I want to listen to anything this thing has to say so badly? Still, curiosity gets the best of me. With shaking hands, I carefully remove the necklace from the pedestal and hold it in front of me. Its brilliant light makes everything around me seem distant and blurry. This won't hurt, trust me. Reluctantly, I take the necklace and place it over my head. At first, I can barely feel the necklace against my skin. Then something happens. It becomes warm, almost hot against my skin. It feels good, almost soothing. A sudden jolt goes through me. Is this some kind of spell? Am I about to faint? Why did I listen to this stupid necklace? Easy there, you're just fine. The strange feeling goes away as I'm left feeling powerful. And not just that, my mind is sharper than ever. I think faster too. Everything feels clear and sharp. Oh shit, nice. Oh, now that was fun. Now you've got your own mojo back. The necklace practically sings from my neck. What did you do? I gave you a little boost, just enough to help you along, that's all. I looked down at myself. Notice that the necklace has neatly tucked itself under my shirt, hidden from sight. Our little secret. How long will this boost last? As long as you are wearing me, but remember, don't tell anyone else. This is strange, but I do feel amazing. This necklace could really come in handy. I turn around and walk back out of the passageway and walk into the hall. As soon as I close the strange door, it disappears. That's weird. Tonight seems like a good night to settle down and start reading the green book I found in the library. Unfortunately, my earlier fears are confirmed. The entire book is in another language. Even once I find out what language this is, it will take me forever to translate the whole thing. What you reading? Rayla, I didn't hear you come in. I know, you were staring at that book so hard I thought I might burst into flames. Rayla leans over me in an attempt to read the book over my shoulder. You can read Greek? I look back at the book dumbfounded. I'm such an idiot. Of course it would be Greek. Sybil was from Greece. No, I can't read it, but I wish I could. What is it anyway? It's the Journal of the Former Oracle. Really? As in the one who just died mysteriously? How'd you get your hands on this? I found it in the old library. Professor Bourdain let me get there to study for the council meeting. I'm not sure why it would be there, but it was. It was really strange. This book called me. In my mind, I mean. That your oracle power is at work. Maybe, so that means this journal must have something important in it. Maybe something about who killed her. I just need to translate it. Well, I'm sure you can find a Greek dictionary in the library, but that would take forever. That's what I was thinking. Do you know anyone who speaks Greek? Sure, but this is a lot of pages. That's a pretty big task for even a native speaker. You're better off just using some sort of translator device. And do you happen to have one of those? Me? Nah, they're pretty rare, not to mention super expensive. I know some of them. Know someone who does have one, but you're not gonna like it. Who? Syndra. Syndra? No way am I asking her. She'd probably set the book on fire and me along with it. Yeah, but what are your other options? I don't know, but I'd rather spend my time thinking of a million alternatives than to ask her. I guess I don't blame you. I'll find another way, but I'm going to keep this book close to me until then. I have a feeling I shouldn't let anyone know I have this. It could be considered evidence depending on what's in it. Maybe you should give it to the authorities? You think? I don't know. Well, we don't know if the authorities have anything to do with it, so maybe not. Remember what the creepy note said? Oh, of course. Hold on, the dogs are barking. Alright, they stopped for now. But that was just Dex trying to scare me. I don't know if I can take that seriously. Still, I think your original plan to keep it hidden is a good one, at least until we can figure out what it says. I shoved the book into my school's bag in between two larger books. If this thing is as important as I feel it is, I better find a way to translate it soon. Then we're gonna hit week 6. Woo, 6 more weeks. Sorry, my dog's moving. And it's great. Time to choose my electives. Chanting. Astrology, chanting. Hold on. Alright, my dogs are just gonna have to bark. Sorry, everybody. Time for elective class. I'm in for a surprise when I return to my dorm that afternoon. The room is an utter mess. Drawers emptied, beds disarranged, except the damage is mostly contained to my side of the room. Someone has been in here. I begin to sort through the mess, trying to determine if anything is missing. What could I possibly have that anyone would want? The answer almost whispers in my ear, the journal. But the journal is tucked safely inside my school bag. Whoever wanted it must have been unsuccessful. Oh my goodness, what happened in here? Rayla's voice from behind me shakes me awake again. Someone broke into our room. What? Did they take anything? I have some pretty valuable plants in here. Whoever it was didn't seem interested in anything of yours. Oh yeah, it looks like my stuff is untouched. That's odd. What do you think they were looking for? I'm not certain, but I think it might have been Sybil's journal. I'm not sure who would want it. Well, if there's something in that journal that could point towards the cause of her death, I could see someone not wanting that information to get out. But that would mean someone at Sarenville has something to do with the Oracle's death, wouldn't it? It could have been an accomplice, or maybe someone who visited the school. That doesn't narrow it down much. How could I possibly have it? Who could possibly know I have it? I've been careful to keep it hidden. My lips have been sealed, a real feat for me. Whoever it was, they didn't get what they were looking for, but I don't think they're going to give up, and I think I need to translate this thing sooner rather than later. Are you saying what I think you're saying? Unfortunately, yes. I'm gonna have to ask Cinder for help. Uh-oh. I enter the alchemy classroom filled with, I don't know that word. Asking Cinder for help is not something I thought I would ever do, but it's the only way to get this journal translated quickly. Mr. Downs, I'm afraid Miss Yoshino would not be joining class today, so please join another group for now. Kai is missing class. Is he sick? He got suspended. I turn around in my seat and see Cinder gazing at me, expression neutral. What? Why? Who knows, but it's not that surprising, is it? He's been a troublemaker since he got here, probably the same reason he got booted from Riverscar. I turn away from Cinder's smirking face. Kai may like pranks, but they're harmless. I don't think he'd do anything major enough to get him suspended. I'll have to ask him about this later, but for now I have got something else to take care of. I turn back towards Cinder, who is busy setting up the potion station. Based on the scowl on her face, she seems to be in a bad mood, just my luck. But I can't back down now. I need to convince her to help me out with a translation of a diary. Hey. She doesn't bother to look up when she responds. Yeah? Do you have a minute? I wanted to ask you something. You're not gonna ask me about the Kai thing again, are you? I told you everything I know. No, that's not it. Cinder gives a loud sigh and drops her washcloth on the table. Well, what is it? I was told you might have access to a translation device, is that true? Maybe. Why do you want to know? Well, I'd like to borrow it, just for a short time. And why should I loan you such a valuable item? Because you're helpful, kind, it's good for a good cause. And what do you plan to do with it? What do you plan to do with it of not interest to me, but I can be helpful for a price? I should have expected this. She has no reason to help me for free, but it's terribly important for me to get my hands on the translator. I'm willing to hear her out. And what kind of prize? I don't have any money. Oh, I don't need money. I need resources. Resources for what? I'm sure by now you know that I am the top of our class, and I'd like to remain it that way. I need to remain that way. But for the complete imbecile in the front row keeps one-upping me, I need to outshine him in the next potion assignment. You want to sabotage another student? Don't be ridiculous. I'm not a cheater. I earn my marks. No, I need a specific ingredient, one that will extend the life of my potion. If I can do that, Professor Daniel will have to give me the top grade. Why do you need my help getting that ingredient? Because it's not something that is kept in the alchemy storeroom. Its use is a little unorthodox, which is another reason why including it will surely impress the professor, but I am certain it can be found on the grounds. It only grows in dark, wet places. Like a sewer? More like the caves outside the school grounds. There are caves? We're in a mountainous region, of course there's caves, so you want me to go digging around in the dark, wet cave for a plant? Do you want my translator or not? I do. Translating all these pages myself would take weeks, and I don't have weeks. I need to find out what happened to Sybil before it happens to me too. Oh, fine, I'll do it. Just give me the details. Cinder scribbles some specifics on the plants she is looking for, as well as directions to the cave. There isn't anything dangerous in that cave, is there? I don't know. I've never been there. Great. Maybe I shouldn't take on this task alone. I can probably convince Rayla to go with me. Oh, and I forgot to mention I need the plant soon. Bring it to me by our next alchemy class or the deal is off. I'm tempted to ball up her note and throw them back in her face, but I had planned to get this done soon regardless, so I just give her a silent nod and hurry out the classroom. Alright. Next selective. I forgot all about astrology. We have not been doing that. It's time for this week's club meeting. Is Dex going to be there? I return to the cold room with renewed vigor. I may not know the connection between Alistair and Reese, but I'm determined to figure out what happened to Alistair and why. In preparation for the visiting Alistair again today, I did a little digging to find information on Reese. His full name is Reese Whitlock, and he is a muse, which somewhat explains everyone's fascination with him. He is in his third year at Starminster Academy, and he is, by all accounts, definitely not dead. As soon as I enter the room, the temperature drops several degrees. Hello, Alistair. The ghostly form appears in front of me. I think I'm getting used to this strange phenomenon. You were gone a long time. Was I? Perhaps it just feels like a long time when I'm stuck here all alone. Sorry, I imagine it must get pretty boring in here. It does, and I'm pretty sure I have already read every book in this room. Oh yeah? Have you learned anything interesting? I've learned that I don't like reading. Maybe the books in here just aren't good. I'll see if I can bring you some more entertaining ones. I prefer talking with you. It's nice to have company. Sure, but I can't be here all the time. I have classes to attend. Then I guess I'll be doing a lot more reading. Can't help but laugh at his doom and gloom demeanor, just stereotypically ghost-like. He begins to laugh with me, though I have a feeling he is just humoring me. He's changed a lot since the first day. He was sort of angry and intimidated, but now he's thoughtful and kind. He can't possibly be the same person as Reese, who was cocky and dismissive, and that brings me to the reason I came here today. Alistar, I have a question. Yes? Does the name Reese Whitlock mean anything to you? It it sounds kind of familiar. Do you think it could be your name, your real name? Well, I suppose. Where did you hear this name? That's where it gets a little weird. I met Reese Whitlock here at school. He is identical to you, and he is very much alive. How can that be? Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. You said the name seems familiar, and it's the only name I've given you that's caused you to react that way. But if you are Reese Whitlock, how can you be alive and dead at the same time? Could it be a relative, a twin? That's why I originally thought, but Reese claims he has no siblings, and I couldn't find any records of relatives around the same age. What about a great ancestor, a great-great-grandfather, someone that went missing in the past? I thought of that, but there is no evidence of any missing relatives in the Whitlock family. And get this guy just doesn't look like you. He looks exactly like you. Like, I don't think this is a relative. How strange. I would like to speak to this Reese person. You would? Wouldn't that be weird for you? Is there a choice? This is the only lead we have, and if you think he will answer the questions, then I want to talk to him. Okay, I'll try to arrange something. Thank you. Now, do you want me to read some of these old books to you? I bet I can make them more entertaining. I'd rather hear your stories. Tell me about your adventures, how you ended up here. Well, I can't promise it'll be that of an exciting story. Feel free to embellish if you like. You can leave out any boring stuff. Deal. I spend the next couple hours simply talking with Alistair. He is an excellent audience, reacting to all the proper moments, asking questions when appropriate. I am beginning to really enjoy my time with him. I wish I could tell you my stories. Don't worry, you'll be able to tell me soon. We'll unearth those memories somehow. I hope so. Anyways, I better get back, it's getting late. I wish you didn't have to go. I'll be back soon enough. Alistair reaches out as if he wants to touch me, and I don't move, afraid that if I do, he might vanish. You are growing on me. You're not still convinced I killed you? No, I don't think you would kill me, not without a good reason. I know there is a connection between us. I can feel it, but maybe I was wrong about the reasons why. Well, that's progress, at least I think. He does touch me then, just a slight brush against my hair, his icy touch, and I can't help but shiver. I'll be waiting for your return. Oh, it's sad. There's some spelling errors here. I mean, I know I can't read, like, I can't talk. I don't know a lot of words, but there's some spelling errors. He vanishes? No, then he vanishes. The cold leaving with him, and I head back to my dorm thinking about the encounter. Alistair has grown on me too, and I realize I'm actually looking forward to seeing him again. Who is all a love interest? I meet Rayla outside, and we head towards the forest. I still can't believe you managed to convince me to go trespassing around in the wet cave. Trapsing? I don't know that word. I know it's not an ideal evening activity, but with your super plant sense, we can get this done much faster. Did you ever find out if there was anything dangerous in the cave? Not really. I couldn't exactly ask the professors. Awesome. Then I'll prepare myself mentally for all the manner of cave monsters that jump out of the dark crevices. You are not helping my nerves. It's only fair we share the same healthy level of fear, right? The cave turns out to be about a 2-hour walk from the summer quad. I haven't spent that much time outside the academy walls, but the landscape is incredibly varied. I suppose that should not be surprising for a place that wields all 4 seasons simultaneously. We are both uncomfortably hot and sweaty by the time we reach the cave's opening. Is it time to go back yet? We haven't even started, but I'm all for getting this done quickly. How does your plant sense work? Plants send out auras that dryads can feel. Every type of plant has a different vibe, but until you've felt them, it's hard to know which plant it belongs to. So this plant will likely send you to an unfamiliar vibe. Yep, and I can feel some common plants in here, but nothing out of the ordinary yet. Then I guess we'll have to go deeper. And those were the last words of our heroines uttered. This cave is a lot larger than I thought it would be. Do you think anything lives here? Probably, but I don't plan to be here long enough to find out. Wait, I'm getting a signal. Rayla stops in her tracks, tilting her head upwards. Oh crap, I think it's up there. I turn into the direction she's pointing. I see a collection of pale blue leaves hanging from the thin vines clinging to the cave walls. Is that them? It's gotta be. They're giving me the right vibes. Okay, that is definitely out of our reach. Oh no, my oracle friend, we don't have to go to the plants. The plants will come to us. How? Rilla goes still, her eyes closed, and she starts whispering softly. Hey there, little buddies, I could use your help. If we could just borrow a couple of your leaves, Gaia would undoubtedly bless you for your generosity. We will take no more than necessary. She pauses as if listening. The vines on the wall start to sway a bit, and they are actually answering to her. Oh yes, it is for a noble cause, to save my friend here whose life might be in danger. We're watching my roomie have a discussion with a pile of vines. Might be the strangest thing I've ever seen coming to this place, but it works. Little blue leaves begin to drop from the walls, floating towards us. I hurry and scoop them up, holding them carefully in my hands. Thank you, and may the goddess watch over you. Then the vines seem to sway in response. Okay, that was probably the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's nothing. I'm usually terrible at negotiation, but those guys seem pretty amiable. Some plants will want something in exchange, but these seem excited to help. I guess they don't get many visitors. Ah, well, tell them I appreciate it. Don't worry, they know. Oh, and they also said that there's a big old snake living in this cave, so I say we better get the hell out of here. You don't have to tell me twice. Let's go. Alright, we got the flowers. Nice. That night, my sleep is anything but peaceful. I've had nightmares before, but this one is another level of eerie. I'm in my old high school classroom surrounded by familiar faces of my former classmates, except these familiar faces look wrong, almost alien, and they're all looking right at me, staring at me with soulless eyes. I get up from my chair, wanting to escape the sinister gaze of my students around me. I've got to get out of this room. As soon as I stand up, every single student stands up as well, faces still on me. I walk towards the door of the classroom slowly, as if they might not even notice me if I don't make sudden movements. Not much luck. With every step I take, the other students move closer and closer until I stop, horrified. If they keep moving on me like this, I'll be surrounded. I look around frantically, hoping for something that I might be able to use as a weapon. Nothing. Panic rises in my throat, and I bolt for the door, praying I can get out of here. And before I'm surrounded, the other students converge on me like a horde of undead. I don't even make it halfway to the door before they are on me, pawing at me. I crumble to the ground, feeling the weight of my body on top of mine. I'm gonna suffocate. I squeeze my eyes closed and scream. That's an impressive set of pipes for such a small person. A familiar voice rings softly in my ear, and my screams stop. What? Am I dead? Reluctantly, I open my eyes and gasp. The zombie students are gone, so is the classroom. Instead, I'm staring into the eyes of Gray, who is on top of me, arms on either side of my face, looking down at me with a smirk. Ooh. What? Gray, where am I? Where do you think you are? I don't know. I was in the classroom. There were students. Dreaming of school? How boring. I suggest you dream of something else, more exciting. I suddenly realize Gray is still on top of me, and I blush furiously. Dream or no, he's a little too much inside my personal space. Do you think you could get off me? If you'd like. He stands up in one fluid motion and reaches his hand out to me. I take his hand and he pulls me off onto the ground. Now I'm standing. I take a look around. I'm still in school, but this hallway here at Sarenville, and there are thankfully no zombie students present. Do you often dream of being eaten by other students? No, but I don't usually dream of having conversations about my dreams while in a dream either. Dreaming about dreams now? There's something for that analysis book. What are you doing in my dream anyway? You tell me. I suppose it isn't exactly strange to dream about Gray. I mean, I just had a dream about zombie students about to suffocate me, so why shouldn't I dream about a normal guy? Are you sure I'm normal? Well, did I say that out loud? Gray is very close to me now. His eyes are on me, serious. He leans down and I can feel his breath on my face. My breathing quickens, but I do not attempt to move away. I close my eyes. And then I wake up. I'm back in my dorm room at Sarenville. Rilla's dark form is breathing evenly in the bed beside mine. What a weird dream. I look at the clock on my bedside table. It's 3:17. Still a bit shaken, I take a deep breath and attempt to settle back into bed. Eventually, I drift off into a dreamless sleep. Alright, elective classes. Some more astrology, since we neglected that for a while. The Despite my anger towards Arien for his unfair punishments in Azrite class last week, I am still looking forward to our tutoring session. However, today's lesson is to be the last one. When Professor Balin set up there's lessons for me, he told me 4 weeks of study under Arien would improve my skills dramatically. Until last week, I did not believe him, but Arien's help, I managed to push myself to do things I probably wouldn't have done on my own. Last week I had a breakthrough, and I'm excited to see what's in store with my last session. I reach Arien's office and knock quietly. He hates it when I bang on the door. "You don't need to wake up the dead, Miss Adonis," he said. It didn't take me long to learn my lesson. After a few moments with no answer, I knock on the door again, more loudly this time. Still no answer. I reach for the doorknob and turn. The door is unlocked. Peering in, I notice it is also empty. Arien is not inside. It's got to be past the time to begin, hasn't it? Arien is never late, and I'm indicated by our run in class last week. He is punctually very serious. I wait about 10 more minutes before I decide something must be wrong. If Arien had wanted to cancel our last session, he would have definitely had sent me a message. I guess I'll have to visit him in his dorm. He doesn't live in the dormitory, does he? It's just now that I realize I have no idea where he lives when he's not in his office. I stop a random guy in the hallway and ask if he knows where Arien's dorm room is. It turns out he doesn't stay in the dorm at all with the rest of the students. His room is in the very building. At least I don't have to walk very far. When I reach the door, I knock softly. No answers. Well, this seems familiar. I knock a little louder and I hear a voice come from inside the room, but I can't decipher the words. Hesitantly, I open the door, praying that I'm not about to walk into something I definitely don't want to see. I peer into the room, which is mostly dark, save for dim light coming from the desk. "Hello, Arien?" I hear a mumbling sound coming from the bed in the corner of the room. I move closer to what I hope is Arien sleeping. The lump under the covers stirs, and Arien's face appears looking drawn and sickly. "Arien, are you okay? You weren't in your office, so I came to find you." Arien sits up slowly and looks at me with a glazed expression. Then, as if a light has been switched on, he practically jumps out of bed, forcing me to back up towards the door again. "Miss Adonis, you're in my room." Good deduction there. I knew there was a reason everyone says you're so smart. "Why are you in my room?" "You missed our lesson. I wanted to make sure you weren't dead or something. By the looks of it, you weren't far off." "I'm fine. No need to concern yourself." "No, you aren't. You look terrible. You're obviously sick. Lay down." For a moment, he looks as if he's about to continue arguing with me, but then he slowly sinks back down onto the bed. He actually listened to me. How about that? A true testament to just see how sick he is. I glance around and notice the room is quite unlike any dorm I have seen in the school so far. Aside from being a single bed, there is also a tiny kitchenette with a sink, stove, and mini fridge. Hold on. The counter is stacked with mugs and various bags of exotic-looking coffee. I guess being a headmaster's assistant has its perks. "Why don't I make you a drink? Hot beverages can help you when you're feeling bad." He doesn't protest, so I take that as a green light. I pick up one of the bags of coffee, but I don't see a coffee maker anywhere. Instead, there's a strange glass and metal contraption that looks like it once had coffee in it. What am I supposed to do with this? Arien speaks up from behind me. "That is a French press. It comes from your world, actually. Do you know how to use it?" "I didn't." "Of course, just lay back down." I am sure I can figure this thing out. I examine the French press for a moment, but it doesn't take me long to figure out how it works. I open one of the bags of coffee and inhale. It smells like flowers and chocolate, an interesting combination. When the coffee is poured, I look back at Arien, who is lying back onto the bed, arms covering his face. "How do you like your coffee?" 3 sugars. 3 sugars? Why did I assume he'd be the type to drink only the blackest, most bitter coffee out there? I drop 3 sugar cubes into the black coffee and put a little bit of cream into my own. He sits up as I approach the bed with 2 steaming mugs, unsure where I'm supposed to sit. I stand awkwardly for a moment before he nods his head towards the next space to him. "Don't just stand there like that. Sit down." I sit and take a small sip of my coffee. I'm instantly blown away by the flavor. Much like the smell, it's unlike any coffee I ever tasted. What is this stuff? "It's just coffee, Miss Adonis. But it tastes, I don't know, different. The coffee made here in the Paralin is probably different than what you are used to. We have different plants, different soils. Well, whatever it is, I like it. You are welcome to share it anytime." I sip on my coffee again, somewhat surprised at Arien's response. Is that an open invitation to visit him in his room? "Are you feeling a bit better?" "Yes, thank you. It's not often that I'm incapacitated by something so trivial. Trivial, when I came in, you looked like death. In fact, you still kind of do." He does not respond, but I sense a bit of resignation on his face. I really should go and let you sleep, huh? I stand up, moving towards the kitchenette to clean up my mug. Wait. What? Please stay if you'd like. Okay, sure. Now that I'm standing, I take a look around the room. His room is very much like his office, neat and stuffed with old books and strange items I've never seen before. I scan the bookshelf and notice a collection of intricately carved wooden figurines. I picked one of them up and looks like an old pirate ship complete with sails and a hull shaped like a mermaid. These are amazing. The details are insane. Where'd you get them? I made them. You made these? You are extremely talented. It's a foolish hobby, one I've been meaning to give up. Are you kidding? You could probably sell these and make a killing. I know humans would love this kind of stuff anyways. I have a much more important things to do than carve silly wooden figures. Says who? You forget, Miss Adonis, I am an oculi. We have greater destinies than to become simple craftsmen. Well, now you're just being pretentious. Who says craftsmen can't be great and successful? The entire history of the oculi says this, Miss Adonis. Well, I'm not buying it. You say you have this great destiny that is set in stone, but that doesn't mean you can. That doesn't mean you have to let it rule. It does not rule me. Then why would you give up something you enjoy? You do enjoy carving these, right? He is quiet for a moment, then gives me an almost, I don't know that word, nod. Aha! Then screw your destiny. You can have time for boring old destinies and passions if you let yourself. Arien stares at me with an, I don't know that word, look on his face. Uh-oh, did I make him mad? Did I just say screw your destiny to a near professor? I look away sheepishly. You are quite odd, Miss Adonis. Me? That's rich coming from you. I'm pretty sure you're the oddest person I've met. In what way? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because you're some kind of mirror person? I clench my mouth shut. Oh God, I just called him a mirror person. I brace myself to be reprimanded, but I am shocked when he laughs. Not just any laugh, but a real loud, uncontrollable laughter, as if I just said one of the funniest things in the world. Seeing this kind of laugh coming from him is so strange, it's almost terrifying. What's so funny? A mirror person? I don't think I've ever heard anyone call me that in my entire life, and I've lived a long time. Well, I'm sorry. Well, I said you were odd. That was an understatement. You are so much more than that. Thanks, I guess. I am hesitant to spoil this pleasant moment between us, but something has been bothering me, and we're gonna stop right there because the doggies are barking, and it's just a great time to stop. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.